Oh, it's getting late. This is the vlog for November 10th. 2018. I was up watching anime again. I've been focusing on Land of the Lustrous, which is a very curious show about gemstone girls that don't really have gender because they don't have sexes, so they don't reproduce the way human beings do. So they're asexual, but they all look like girls. So I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to give away too much of the story. I would recommend it. I would recommend it. It's very sort of fanciful, but it's also very dramatic at times and silly at times. But what has my day been? I got I got my writing done this morning. And then when I was out at lunch, I got a text message from Vincent, one of the few subscribers to this channel. Hey, Vincent, if you're watching this, I'm going to talk about what we talked about today. He's asking me to meet up with him and another former coworker of mine to talk about writing. Kevin actually has published a book in the past, and his insight into this whole process is going to be very useful. It does make me feel a bit like I am not so much behind on my writing, but behind on my research into the publication process. I should be doing more reading about what I need to do to get this manuscript into a form that I can send out. But, you know, this is an excellent chance for me to learn something about that process from some people who are going through it or have gone through it in the past. So I look forward to that. The story I'm writing right now is so weird because it's not that it's not interesting. I'm very interested in writing it. I would hope that people would be interested in reading it. But I think what has struck me is that I've been doing a lot more exposition and description. That's the word I was looking for. I'm taking more time to describe the scenes as they unfold, which is something that I think was a weakness of mine with the original manuscript. It was very dialogue heavy, very action heavy, and event heavy, but light on description, which sort of makes sense given that my background in reading for the last 10 years or more has been mostly comics. I have done a lot less reading of novels, which seems silly given that I've been trying to spend all this time writing a novel. But I'm writing a novel that I would want to read, where there is less of a focus on descriptions and more on drawing a reader into the action, into the events as they unfold. But I don't want to make it unreadable, and part of the problem is that while I like the story subjects and contents and all that stuff, I don't know how it feels to someone else reading it. So that was one of the reasons I had so many people I asked so many people to read my book and give me feedback, and I've gotten precious little of that, but I do get this sort of sense that most people don't really get it. They sort of get lost in it, I think, and that's definitely something that I need to work on. But it's also an area where a real professional would help, a real editor, to actually tell me what I'm doing wrong and what I need to improve on would be very, very useful. All things to think about and all things to talk about on Friday. it's going to be kind of funny. I'm going to go and have this meeting on Friday, and then what was I going to say? And then the following Monday is our trip to Washington D.C. On that note, my sister still has not gone into labor yet, or at least had not this morning. But I'm expecting any day now to hear some news. If it goes much more than a week, I think they actually induce labor, but it should be perfectly safe for my sister and for the baby. But I imagine it's gonna happen when it's gonna happen. I look forward to hearing about it. Anyway, till then, I'm Eric Spornitz, and tomorrow will be better.